basically the idea of the breathing of Quran and then the idea of reed and music, and combining the two in order to give us the powerful imagery of reed. Not only we are lions, that there is a wind behind us in order to make us move, but we are pieces of reeds next to the lip of God that He's blowing into us in order to give us life and sense and music and joy, of course. All this come together in the imagery of reed. For Rumi, of course, reed is lamenting. Now we heard him telling us that listen to the story of reed, listen to the reed. It is lamenting from the separation. But I have to tell you that this lamentation is no real lamentation. We will see, that Rumi in some other place tells us that the lamentation and the joy of the mystics, of the Sufis, are absolutely different from the lamentation and the joys of the ordinary people. So you have to take it not in the usual sense of the word. He is not actually lamenting because he has missed something or because he has lost something of the material world. That is not the meaning of it. But again, for Rumi, because we are now in the phase, in the state of separation, so the most suitable thing to us is to lament over separation. And again, being a reed, a piece of reed, is the best thing to be in this phase of our being. But then we of course move on to the next phase of our life, so the story will be different. We do not know, and perhaps Rumi now experiences that phase. But when he was in this world and he was telling us the story of our life, he actually preferred to use this imagery. Now this gives us again an idea of the reason we read and the wind, but also the imagery of the sea and the sun. You see, both of, or light perhaps, both of these also are very frequent, are being used very frequently in his works, exactly because of the same reason. Light also is a formless thing, is a form, and it is being formed through the things that it enters in or passes through. And water also is like this. It is formless, but when it is in a container and receptacle, then it gets its form from the container receptacle. So these formless things in the world are the most actually telling things for the mystics, in order to use them to show us and to teach us about the idea of God and His boundlessness and His formlessness. You will see in the whole Masnavi that he uses one of the most frequent words or symbols that he uses in Masnavi are these three: wind, or maybe air, then light, and then water. These three things, these three symbols are most beloved to him. He uses them very frequently, more than any other images, any other symbols. First of all, they are clean. You see air, forget about the modern time, which air is very polluted. Now go back to the time of Rumi, when the air was much more cleaner than what it is nowadays. And the light, it never gets corrupted. That was the idea of our philosophers, that the light actually only enlightens the corruptions, enlightens the filthy things, but it never becomes dirty, filthy, or whatever. It is always pure and clean. And water also, of course it gets dirty, but then of course it has got a characteristic, according to Rumi, that it can washes itself and purifies itself. So a self-purification dynamism is there in water, because you have got sea and you have got rivers, and then rivers go into the sea, and then you have got the sun and the evaporation of water and coming down from the clouds. So there is a sort of self-purification mechanism in the nature in order to take away all these dirts and filth from water. So there are three things, air or wind, if you like, and water and light. All these three are being used by Rumi in order to tell us that there is an infinite being beyond the world, and it is the life of the world. It is formless, it is boundless, but it gets bound, it gets formed when it enters somehow, so to speak, when it comes into our world. The capacities of things are different. As I said, and do not forget this, the window determines the amount of the light that comes into the house. Now the capacity, the size of the window, the capacity of the reed, the capacity of the container, of the vessel, determines how much water you can keep in it, you can have in it. So it is the capacity of human beings, the capacity, or according to the philosophers, the quiddity of the things that determines what amount of the grace of God they can receive. That is, I mean, behind all this imagery that he uses, but I think for him light and air are the two most important ones that he uses in this respect. In the reed imagery, of course, you get another dimension as well. There, as I said, you have got the lamentation, you have got the boundlessness or formlessness of the air which is being blown into it, and it is the idea of the instrument. Now, as I mentioned, reed is an instrument, so we are instruments in the hands of God. So this is something which he deliberately uses and wants us to understand. We are instruments, we are being played by him, if you like, being performed by him. So we have got no function of ourselves, and he who actually determines our function. The main function for us is just to convey and to transfer his voice to others. It is the main function. Of course, you may use the instrument in many other ways, but one of them is the right and the main function. All others are deviants. All others are, not the right ones. In one place, actually, Rumi tells us that book is for reading, okay, but you can use it as a pillow as well and put it under your head. Yes. گرچه مقصود از کتاب فن بود گر توش بالش کنی هم می شود. Yes, it is the goal, the objective and the function, the main function of the book to be read, to be studied, but you can use it as a pillow as well, but that's not the right usage of the book. Now this is the most important thing. Yes, we are reeds, we are pieces of reed, we are nay, but the main function of nay is to transfer the music of God to others. That is the main function. If we do not function that way, we are wasting our life, we are wasting our existence, we are wasting our presence in this world. That is the main function being given to us, offered to us, and that is the main function of every human being. So we are instruments in that sense. We have got a particular pre-planned, well-determined function to perform in this world, and that is this: to sit next to the lips of God in order to take and to transfer his voice and his music and his message to others. Okay, but we can use ourselves in many other ways. That is wasting our capacities,